NBA. Straya, how are you going? How you going? Are you right? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Thursday, May 22. Who doesn't love a Thursday? It's basically the weekend, so get on the beers. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. And what a day it was. Oh yes, we're going to wrap up an insane, classic Eastern Conference Finals Game 1, Indy versus New York. The Tyrese Haliburton and Nesmith game. Oh, Lordy! That was awesome. Also, SGA won the MVP. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So we'll wrap up the game. We've got That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Bet on Lonzo Ball, we've got some Nars, we've got the Unpopular Opinion of the Day, we've got Outback Takehouse, which is, we're just going back to a well. There's a well out there. You might know it. We're going to go back to it. Oh, yes. And we're going to serve up a flame grilled take. We have a great moment in NBA Australia stat history. Also, a little bit of a quick Shane Hill Shooter Shoot and an Andrew Gaze Award, the Grey Mamba Award. And then we'll pick and preview Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1273 of NBA Australia. Oh, let's go!
Hey, what's up? This is Nick Hexum from 311, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
Wow, you better watch out for the Shaq in a Fool attack if you're Draymond. I don't know if you stuck with the broadcast today, but they did a Shaq in the Fool at the very end of it. You know, it's usual sort of Shaq stuff. Dunking on Gobert, giving crap to, you know, a couple of other players, and then throwing Draymond under the bus, which is pretty funny and completely deserved because Draymond just a massive, massive bell end. But also you got to watch out for the Chuck attack, fresh as a daisy. If you didn't see that clip, go watch it. It's very funny. Right, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Show with the Daily. Fresh as a daisy. I got to press the button again. Jesus. Get this sorted, Jim. There you go. It is a daily whip around because it's a whip crack, isn't it, Jim? Yes. Hey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the MVP. A day after I said it's actually a tie. That's why they haven't announced it yet. They want to save themselves the embarrassment. The weird thing was, so SGA wins his first MVP, and the way they kept couching it was really pretty fucking weird, right? It's like, he joins Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant as the only players in Thunder history to win the MVP. It's like, what the fuck are you on about? That's 3 players in franchise history who've won the MVP. Not many fucking franchises can say that. It's weird. How many MVPs are there in Memphis history? Like, what the fuck, man? How many MVPs are there in Sacramento's history? How many MVPs, you know, just go on down the fucking line. It's very strange. Anyway, so SGA gets 71 first place votes, right? And 29 second place votes. Flip that up and around, and that's what Jokic got. He got 29 first place votes and 71 second place votes, right? So they've just completely bogarted the entire top 2 spots in the MVP race, which makes sense. It literally just came down to those 2 the entire time. I had money on SGA from way back, which is kind of handy. Pretty happy with that. But either way, 913 total points for SGA ahead of 787 for Jokic. And then it gets interesting. Jim, who came third? Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's who came third, of course. He had 88 third place votes. Tatum had 11. And Donnie Mitchell got 1. Oh, no. Fourth place was Tatum with 84 votes. So it's basically a lot of this voting has sort of gone to form, right? Everybody thought basically we have a top 3. We have SGA, Jokic, Giannis. 29 people put Jokic first, and 71 of them had him second, right? So they've sort of done the old flipperoo just basically with those 2 spots. SGA 71, 29. Giannis gets 88 third place votes. Tatum gets 84 fourth place votes. And Donnie Mitchell gets 65th place votes. Also receiving votes in the 5th spot. I love this one. LeBron James got 13. Cade Cunningham copped 9 5th place MVP votes. That's awesome. Ant-Man got 6. Steph Curry got 2. And randomly enough, Jalen Brunson, James Harden, And Evan Mobley also got a 5th place MVP vote. Amazing gear, but congrats to SGA, only the 3rd player in Thunder history to have an MVP. Yeah, they've only been around since they fucking stole my beloved Seattle Supersonics in 2008, you dickheads. I think it's quite fucking remarkable that they've got 3 MVPs in like 17 years. You'd argue they're actually taking the piss. He's also the first MVP, I think, to win the award after being traded after his first season. Great job, Clippers. Right. Otherwise, little bits of news. Ant-Man got fined $50,000 for swearing in the media availability yesterday. Money well spent. What's he going to do? He's just going to fucking spend it on child support. So may as well just take it back off him, hey NBA. And I wanted to revisit one really quickly from yesterday, the Pacers uniforms. Now, your mate Jim might have shone a bit of a light on how they were wearing those statement edition jerseys and how much they are fucking very nice as opposed to those knockoff Miami jerseys that they were wearing at other points of the playoffs. And guess what happened? Let's talk about that now with the game wrap. Game wrap. That's right. Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1. What a game it was. An instant classique, I think we should call it. 138, the Pacers win at MSG 135 in overtime. And look, as I've said before, I don't hate the Knicks. I don't hate Knicks fans. I just think it's fucking hilarious every time they get their hopes up and then they get them dashed quite expertly. Nothing, and the same thing goes for Lakers fans, goes for Celtics fans, goes for Miami fans, any sort of really big fancy fucking market. Just love it sort of when they sort of go, it's the hope that gets you. It's the hope that gets you. As a Carlton Blues fan, look, it's the hope that fucking kills you, mate. Anyway, awesome, crazy game though, right? Just to sort of like go back over it. Remember when Indy just didn't miss to start the game? They literally didn't miss. Everybody scored. They hit their first 9 shots. And then New York went, it's cool. We'll rest control back now. And they did. And they closed the quarter on like the first quarter, 14-5 run. They go up 36-34 after the first quarter. You're like, Jesus, so no defense today, boys. Pretty weird. It was also really good shot making. I thought like both teams were sort of really running some good stuff. Miles Turner was off his fucking head. What do you have, 11 points in the first quarter? New York rip off another 13-1 run in 3 minutes in the second quarter, and they go up 54-46. And you're like, ooh, it's not great. And this is after Indy's already been up 7 in early sticks, right? And Brunson is just fucking hitting everything except for threes. He's getting to the line. The Pacers are kind of like getting to the line here and there, but Brunson is just carving them up. And the Knicks go on a bit of a tear at the end of the second quarter, 9-3 run at the end. They go up 69, nice, to 62 at the half. And you're like, oh, felt like the Knicks really sort of controlled the second quarter. It felt like, and this is the thing, right? If the Pacers get to play the way they want to play, they'll kill you. That's what they do. If they get to play the way they want to play, they'll fucking smash you. OKC's the exact same way, right? Because if on offense they can do what the fuck they want to do with maybe not so much impunity, but like without too much opposition, then it means that on the defensive end, they can run you a little bit ragged, knowing probably that they'll score at the other end. OKC do the same thing. But the Knicks really sort of just, it felt like they were in front the entire second half. But it's like a 3-point game into the fourth quarter. And it's only a 2-point game with 10 minutes left. It's 94-92. And then the Knicks avalanche happens. It gives it the old 1-2, kapang! 1-2 Costa Zoo. As I said, it was 94-92 with 10 minutes left. You turn around, they're up 17. It's 111-94. I literally had my phone in my hand about to message a mate of mine back in New York who's a massive Knicks fan going, congrats on making the finals. And I'm like, that's pretty funny. And I put it down for a second and they score, like Nesmith hits a 3. And I'm like, I can't send that now. I'll look like an idiot. Tibbs also takes out Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson when they're up 15 with about 5 minutes to go, right? Nesmith comes back in and then just goes off his fucking head and hits 1,000,000th threes. He hits 5 threes in a row. It's absolutely absurd shit. Like this massive run from Indy right at the end of the fourth quarter. Nesmith going off chops. It's a 40-24 run across the fourth quarter and overtime. The last 10 minutes of basketball, right? That 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. This is it. They were up 17 earlier in the quarter, the Knicks. And the Pacers then scored 20 points in 2.5 minutes. They finished the fourth quarter on a 20-6 run. It's absolutely insane. Nesmith hits 5 threes in a row in under 5 minutes, right? 4:45, 3. 3:14, 3. 2:04, 3. 51 seconds left, 3. 34 seconds left, spoiler alert, 3. 22 seconds left, guess what? It was a 3! Absolutely absurd shit. And at no point did you really even sort of still think that the Pacers were going to win the game. You're like, this is just a spirited comeback by the Indiana Pacers, whose hat Jim was wearing this morning in his video. And who Jim had plus 4.5. And I'm just sitting there going, fucking look, this is awesome, Pacers. I just want you to cover. Thank you for the fight back. Prayer hands emoji. And then Karl Anthony Towns misses 1 of 2 free throws with 14 seconds left. Nesmith hits both of his with 12 seconds left. They foul again. OG, and after basically a couple of weird moments where they can't really inbound the ball, they almost turn it over. It's almost a disaster. And OG, I mean, they do fucking turn it over in that with the ball going off Brunson instead of Nembhard. But anyway, OG goes 1 or 2 at the free throw line as well. Legit, either Cat or OG hit just both free throws, the game is probably over. Why is that, Jim? Well, because with 7 seconds left, they inbound the ball. Haliburton, skip to Malou, goes inside the paint, gets walled off, retreats behind the three-point line, or so he thought, launches a 3 to win the game. It bounces up off the rim, almost straight up in the air, about 40 fucking meters. The ball went into orbit, I'm pretty sure. Elon Musk is probably jacking off over it right now. And then, boom, it drops back through. Haliburton thinks it's a 3. He gives him the fucking Reggie Miller choke sign. Amazing. But it was a 2. Yeah, the old KD, foot on the toe on the line. Just 1 inch of a fucking toe on the line. He gives them the Reggie Miller choke. And I don't know, I watched Winning Time with old mate and the Squid last night. And Dad, the Squid, he walks in and goes, Dad, is this old basketball? I'm like, yes. And he's like, ah. Sat down and watched it with me. He's like, who's he? I'm like, he's the most annoying man in basketball, Reggie Miller. And so, who's that? It's like Patrick Ewing, the biggest, tallest, most awesome loser in basketball. Tough scenes. Anyway, gives him the choke. It's awesome, but we're going to overtime. And the Knicks score the first 4 points of the overtime. And you're like, oh, geez. If Haliburton's gone too early on the choke, this could be an all-time disaster for the Pacers. But then the hero comes along. And the hero comes along. It's like, but all of them were deceived. Because the ring landed in, like, Andy Nembhard just out there is like fucking Bilbo. Just fucking out of nowhere hits this massive 3. Hits another 2 at the bucket after going right at Brunson. Every time the Knicks threw something at them, Indy answered. And it was that 5-point little run by Nembhard that gave him the chance. You have Ain't No Stop and Obi Top and Put Back. You have a sick Nembhard bucket again off a feed from Haliburton. He just cuts through the paint, Nembhard under the baseline, boom. And then, after they're up 1 still, Ain't No Stop and Obi Top and once more. Gets an insane fucking just, check this out, double clutch dunk that just fucking dagger to the heart of all Knicks fans. Because what is it? It's a little bit of Obi Toppin's revenge. Amazing gear. And it should have been an and 1. And it's a fucking absurdity that for all the fucking time we spent looking at replays at the end of this game, the refs did not call a fucking foul on that shit. What are we doing here? If we're going to spend 400 minutes fucking looking at tallies if you're a ref, maybe just go, oh, fuck, I'm pretty sure he got smashed across the arm. Anyway, Pacers are up 3. Knicks get 2 amazing looks at the end of this one. Both Brunson drops one short. It looks like he got tipped a little bit. Cat, ball gets back out to him. He launches a long 3. both miss, scramble under the basket. You got dudes just falling fucking everywhere. It's chaos. There's eventually a ball that gets tipped out of bounds. They inbound it. The game is over. And the Pacers have won game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, Lord. That was absolutely ridiculous. There's no other way to put it. I mean, what the hell was that? It was absolutely, I don't know. Oh, Lord.
This is ridiculous. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Here's a couple of stats for you. Teams up 14 plus in the last 2 minutes, 45 seconds of a playoff game were 994 wins, 0 losses. Yep, that's now 994 wins and 1 loss. And that 1 loss is the New York Knickerbockers of New York. And then, even that, teams that have trailed by 7 plus in the final 50 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime in the playoffs are 1,702 and 4. The Pacers have 3 of those 4 this year. It is absolutely fucking absurd. You can't kill them. They're fucking Jason Voorhees. Like, what are we doing? It is incredible. The zombie Pacers. They just fucking keep coming at you and they'll get you in the end. How many points do you have to be up to feel safe against the Pacers? 40? Is that enough? It's got to be like over under 29 and a half, right? If it's 28, you're like, ooh, there's 3 minutes left. We're up 28. I think we're okay. But fucking hell. Anyway, the Knicks, look, 15 turnovers. They shoot 51%. Jalen Brunson has 43 fucking points, but he only went 1 of 6 from downtown as well. And you could sort of that extra oomph of just, oh shit, dagger wasn't quite there. He shot an absurd 15 to 25 anyway. Crushes it. Karl Anthony Towns was really good until he went completely MIA at the end. 35 and 12. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Good on him. 4 of 8 from downtown from the best shooting big man of all time, but misses the clutch 3. Who could have seen that coming? Except fucking everybody. Dirk would have hit it. 11 of 17 shooting. He was a +9. He was very good. And so was the other Mitch Robinson, who had 2 points and 8 rebounds. But Mikal Bridges, 16, 6, and 5. OG, 16 points, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Josh Hart had 8 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. Deuce McBride hit a couple of threes. He ends up with 9 and 2. They all sort of fired on all cylinders. It was 138 to 135. The problem is they could just never fucking stop this terrifying Indiana Pacers team. Seriously, just that entire game, the defense is just the one thing where you're like, hey, Knicks, weren't you meant to be like the team that sort of just does like the thing where it's defense? Indy scored 51 points in the fourth quarter and overtime. 50 fucking 1. Yes, the Knicks scored 45, but that's less than 51 last time I checked. And I'm no math magician, but that matters. Haliburton finishes with 31 and 11, and remember, this is the NBA Straya corollary. If he goes 20 and 10, they win. They almost lost, but they still won. Siakam, 17, 5, and 6. He wasn't really like of their offensive players. He shot 7 of 16, 0 of 2 from downtown, but had a couple of buckets, sort of like those junk Siakam buckets where you're like, oh yeah, cool. Fast break. Boom. Off he goes. Turner, 14, 5, 2 and a block. Was obviously instrumental early on getting them going. Could not miss. And then sort of did a bit of a Miles Turner where it's like, is he still out there? What's going on? Nesmith, though, was the fucking story of this game. Woo, boy. Former Boston Celtic. I tell you what, they could use him. 30 points. How's that sound? Pretty bloody good, Jim. 2 rebounds. 9 of 13 from the floor. 8 of which were from 3. 8 of 9 from downtown from Aaron Nesmith. As I mentioned, 5 straight threes in 5 minutes at the end of the fourth quarter. Fucking hell. And then the hero of the overtime. When a hero comes along, he's got cornrows and kind of like a weird bit of facial hair. Nembhard, 15, 4 and 4, 6 of 10 shooting, 2 of 3 from downtown. Weapon. Benny Mathurin had 9 points. Ain't no stopping. Obi topping 2 massive buckets in the overtime. 8 points, 10 rebounds. Just gave them that like crazy athleticism that you could like just couldn't quite match if you're the Knicks. TJ McConnell had 10, 4, and 2. And your Indiana Pacers shot 51% from the floor because they went 51 of 100. Now, again, I'm no math magician, but I'm pretty sure that's 51%. They only had 7 turnovers. And the sort of thing goes to like Minnesota for Indy, like control the turnovers, play the game you want, you win. Unfortunately, yesterday, Minnesota could not control the turnovers. OKC got to play the game they wanted, and they kicked the fuck out of them. Indy were getting their ass handed to them. The Knicks sort of fall asleep a little bit. Mitch Robinson and Deuce McBride were playing really well. They do the switch, and you're like, I don't know, you probably could have given your dudes a little bit more of a breather. Tibbs is unapologetic as per usual. Not a giant surprise there, but wow. Awesome. Just from the fucking clouds win by the Pacers. Let's do an NBA Straya approved performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Who do you think this could be? Well, it's only 2 players, isn't it, right? I got to give this to Aaron Nesmith, though. Like, Haliburton's shot was absolutely incredible, and his one earlier was really, really important as well, right? So Nesmith goes for 30 points, of course. He hits 20 points in the fourth quarter alone. 5 straight threes. Absolutely fucking absurd gear. 9 of 13 shooting. That's a fucking knife. Incredible performance. You've got 2 of the best clutch players in the NBA on the floor, and Aaron Nesmith is like, all right, I'll get us back into this game. Haliburton, you hit the last shot to force overtime. Haliburton's like, all right. But there was a 3 that Haliburton hit 119, 105. And you're like, this game is over, right? It's like a 14-point game. There's like 2 minutes 40 left. And Haliburton hits a 3. And it came after those other 2 Nesmith threes. And you're like, here we go. So it turns it suddenly from a 14-point game to an 11-point game. And you're like, hang on a second, there's 2 minutes left. And basically even the fucking like commentators are like, yeah, this one's pretty much, there's not enough time left. Like Stan Van Gundy's like fucking packing up his bag. He's ordering a pizza on Uber Eats to get delivered to his hotel room. He's just like, and Reggie's kind of like, no, fucking just, I don't know. If they hit another shot here, boom, Nesmith hits a 3. And you're like, it's 8 points. Holy shit. They get free throw. Suddenly it's like a fucking 2-possession game. And you're like, Jesus Christ. What are they? They're going to cover. This is awesome. And then they fucking get that Haliburton shot at the end after the turnover. And you're like, oh, fuck. They might win outright in regulation. It's a 2-pointer from Haliburton. But wow. An incredible shot. An incredible game from him. 31 and 11. Nesmith, 30 points. 8 made threes. That's a fucking knife. Right in the heart of Knicks fans. Who was Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
It's actually a bit tough to pick a Spud of the night in a game where they score 138 and 135 points, right? But I guess your sort of 2 bench guards, we got a lot of campaign minutes. Well, not a lot, like it was enough. And they kind of needed them. He played 10 minutes and he went 2 of 7 in 10 minutes, which I think I tweeted out, I fucking love campaign minutes because he's just like, what am I doing out here? I'm shooting threes. He hits 1 3, rips the fucking top off a grenade and goes the full Ja Morant, throws it in. But yeah, went 2 of 5 from deep. And Deuce McBride goes 2 of 7, 1 of 3 from deep. So I guess that's Spud-ish. Spud adjacent, but they were both like +5, +12, and I feel like Deuce played really well as well. And I'm like, is it possible for a game to not really have a Spud? Like Karl Anthony Towns missing a free throw at the end of the game. OG Anunoby missing a free throw at the end of the game. By the same token, they both also played pretty fucking well. So, I don't know. It's a bit bloody hard. Siakam was sort of edging close to being Spud of the night, but he was also a +8 in 43 fucking minutes and had some instrumental moments. So, I don't know. Maybe the last 3 quarters of Miles Turner. Don't know. But either way, there you go. And no one shot the magic number. You're breaking my heart. Who's old mate, no mates? Old mate, no mate.
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 Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mate? Well, Tyrese fucking Haliburton in New York. Like, he's just taken over the Reggie Miller fucking mantle of like the most hated man in New York City now. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. It's also, look, you can also maybe point towards a bit of the hubris of the Knicks already naming streets after like Ariel Huckporty Way, like this sort of shit. It's like, I don't know. Until they win the fucking title, I'd push back on that. Like if I'm in that Knicks organization, and for the minute I am not, in the meeting, it's like, hey, we're going to keep building all the hype for this beloved Knicks team. We're going to rename, well, you know, additional name. We'll do signposts on some of the big streets in New York City. We're going to call them after some of the players. At some point, someone in that fucking room should have gone, sorry, Mr. Dolan? He's like, yeah, Jimbo. I'll be like, A, don't call me fucking Jimbo. B, are we sure this is a good idea? We're only in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're not even in the NBA Finals yet. Are we perhaps tempting fate a little bit too much when we rename New York City streets after the players on our team because they've made the Eastern Conference Finals? Should we maybe wait until we've won the whole shebang? I'm just saying. And if I get yelled down, I get yelled down, but at least I'll be on the right side of history, just saying. Bit of old mate, no mates as well. Karl Anthony Towns, like, you go back to the locker room, like, there's got to be one person on the Knicks team just go, oh, yeah, the best shooting big man of all time, eh? Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns not showing up in a big moment again, eh? Yeah. Old mate, no mates. He's your fucking mate. Karl Anthony Towns is your mate. He's not my mate. Pantsing of the night. Press the button, Jim. Well, I mean, the Knicks were up 14 with less than 3 minutes to go, like, and you lose. That's an all-time pantsing. Like, what? I can't add anything to that. You shouldn't have lost, and you did. That's a pantsing. You're up 14 at home with less than 3 minutes to go, and you lost. That's a pantsing. You better believe that's a pantsing. Also, Deuce McBride blocking Siakam, that was a pantsing too, but they ended up losing the game. Better than Bronny James, Lonzo Ball, and Ben Simmons.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Andrew Nembhard, what a weapon. 15, 4, and 4. So big. What was it, 7 points in the overtime? Absolutely massive. 15, 4, and 4. 6 of 10 shooting, 2 of 3 from deep, 1 of 2 at the line. Weapon. 35 minutes, he was a +1. And it's sort of like, it tells like the story of Indiana in general, right? This Pacers team. That there's sort of no weak links. Like they're all just really fucking solid. Like Nembhard, Nesmith, you bring on Toppin, he's matured into a really good role player. TJ McConnell, Benny Mathurin as well is like matured this year. He had a couple of weird brain farts with a couple of, he got only 1 foul, but it feels like he had about 40. But the way that like Nembhard and co have just gotten better and better and better, you kind of look at it, there's like just this sort of strength in numbers approach from this Pacers team that I fucking love. So, yes, I picked the Knicks in 7. We're off to a pretty fucking good start, just saying. All right, let's do some yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right. How about some yeah-nahs? Brought to you by you. That's right. You can shout your old mate Jim a beer or a coffee. You can sign up for the membership as well. Over it, it's the link in our bio as well. It'll take you to buy me a coffee. You can sign up there. It's like Patreon, whatever. Basically, there's a couple of levels. Just shout us a beer if you want. Shout us a coffee. join up if you want to like help continue supporting the show. We're out here doing it by ourselves, boy-o, so help us out. Would really appreciate it. Also, you can just sign up to Dabble as well. That also helps. So keep this pirate ship alive. Right. First one is SGA deserved to win the MVP. Yeah, nah. Yeah. Yeah. He did. He had one of the single greatest seasons we've ever seen by a guard in the NBA. 32.7 points a game. He shot 52% from the floor, 37.5% from three, 6.5 assists, 5 rebounds, a block, 1.7 assists. Did it on both ends. Was absolutely instrumental to the best team in the NBA this season, record-wise. And even still, you can see why 29 people voted him second. Because will we go back and go, what the fuck? Why didn't Jokic win the MVP that year? Because he just averaged a lazy 30, 12.5, and 10 with a 1.8 steals and a 0.6 of a block and shot 57.5%. Yeah, nah. Yeah, I think we probably will also still go back and go, how come Jokic didn't win a 4th MVP that year? You know? Because he deserved it. The problem is, SGA also deserved it. And so I can't, like, this is the thing. Sometimes in life, you just have to go, sure. Old mate hates it when I do this, but she'll be like fucking, I don't know, wanting to have a crack or something. And it's just the best way of diffusing any sort of shitty situation. She'll be like, go, blah, blah, blah. Jim, you suck. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yep, sure. It's like, I agree with you. Right, you can make your case for SGA. You can make your case for Jokic. Sure, should have won the MVP. I mean, in Jokic's case, didn't. But he's already got 3. Like, I'm not going to fucking bemoan the state of history. Oh, but he should have had 4. It's like, all right, he's only won 1 title. He's clearly the best player in the world. SGA had a historically, insanely awesome season as well. I'm not going to begrudge him winning the MVP when he leads a 68-win team and Denver were just a bit shit. Right? So sue me. Don't do that. I've got no money. Can the losers of Game 1 still win their respective playoff series, Jim? Yeah, nah. Yes. Yes, they can. Minnesota's was on the road. It's fine. The series doesn't start until the home team loses. Well, if that's the case and OKC never lose at home and the series is actually over, but still. The Knicks, in the exact same way as the Knicks took care of Boston in games 1 and 2 in just fucking absolute kick in the dick territory, right? It's really fucking hard to emotionally come back from that sort of loss. It's like you basically won game 1, but you didn't. And the same sort of thing almost happened with OKC against Denver where they lose on the Aaron Gordon shots and just shit like this. And you're like, God damn, man, we killed this fucking team twice over. But the Knicks, there's a special sort of resilience about them, right? Like there is a belief. And if like the Pacers just have like a bit of slippage here or there throughout this series, the Knicks will always be ready to pounce. That's the sort of team they are. So I believe in both these teams who are down 0-1 can easily come back and win the series. Just saying. The thing is, an unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
A Pacers OKC finals would be absolutely disastrous for the NBA. But it would be amazing basketball and probably give us one of the all-time classic matchups, right? Pacers OKC would be insane. I'm just saying. I picked Minnesota, New York because I'm like, that's exactly what the NBA wants to happen. They want New York versus like, there's 3 other very small market teams out there. And they're like, we'll get New York in And then we'll get the new face of the NBA, Anthony Edwards, in, and we're laughing. Pacers OKC, it'd be absolute fucking basketball nirvana for nuffies like me. Like casual fans, maybe not so much, but still. I'm all about shining a light on the incredible fucking talent we've got in the NBA right now. That would very much help. And speaking of shining a fucking light, Jesus, let's do a bit of an Outback Takehouse. It's Thursday at Outback, and you know what that means? Oh yeah, 2 for 1 blooming onions. No prick in Australia knows what the fuck these things are. Sucked in. It's some sort of deep fried onion made to look like a fucking flower or some shit. I don't know. Just fucking eat it. It goes great with a flame grilled take. And today's flame grilled take is, we're going back to the well. NBA refs should have 24 seconds maximum, and everything that they see in replays at game speed. That is all we ever have to do with replays. Challenges. No slow-mo, nothing. You have a 24-second shot clock, the same as the fucking players do, to make your decision. You don't get to slow it down. You watch it the same as you were actually just watching it and make your fucking decision. Simple as that. Only at Outback. Seriously, it was getting just there will be like a stat that comes out about how long the end of game 1 of that fucking Eastern Conference Finals game 1 took, right? There'll be a stat like, the actual game time amount of, like, the actual game time that elapsed of 3 minutes and the overtime took 2.5 hours. And you're like, yes, it fucking felt like it. It just kept, it's like, we need to go to the other fucking monitor. And it's like, okay, let's all just stand around watching the refs watch TV. What are we doing here? It is absolutely incredible. Absolutely absurd. So good job, refs. Seriously, I don't think it's much to ask to go, right, you have 24 seconds to make a decision that you've already fucking made, right, on the court. Usually it's like a challenge or we're doing a replay. It's like, yeah, I called it, soft call, out of bounds. Look at it once, twice on the fucking monitor. Nah, it came off him, I reckon. Fucking move on. Just fucking move on. The stoppages are fucked. It is like the biggest of big fucking spotlights are on your sport right now. What are you doing? Oh, we've stopped again so the refs can watch telly. What the fuck? This is just absurd gear. Anyway. All right. Let's do, the Australian Player Watch for today is very simple again. Johnny Furphy was spotted on the bench for the Pacers. As I said, put Johnny Furphy in, you coward Rick Carlisle at the end of the game. He did not. So that was a did not play coach's decision for our man, Johnny Tins Furphy. But how about a couple of quick Andrew Gaze Great Mamba Awards and Shane Hill Shoot Your Shot Awards? Because there's a lot of these ones around. So let's just very, very quickly, we'll back-to-back them. So we'll play the drops. Where is the Andrew Gaze Great Mamba Award? There we go.
It's the first annual
Andrew Gaze Great Mamba.
Outstanding achievement in the field of excellence.
Shane Hill Shoot Go!
He threw it down. Are you healed? Are you healed?
Praise the Lord, I'm healed.
Praise the Lord, for I'm healed. It is the Shane Hill
Shooters shoot.
Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award.
All right, real easy. Before we get to the great moment in NBA Australia state history. Jokic, right? There are only 3 players ever. Larry Bird, Bill Russell, and now Nikola Jokic, who have finished top 2 in 5 or more consecutive seasons in the MVP voting, right? Jokic obviously wins in 21, 23, 24, came second in 22 in a game this year. Bill Russell, Larry Bird, both came first or second in 6 straight years, which is just, again, fucking incredible. Russell won in 58, 61, 62, and 63, was second in 59 and 60. It's not fucking bad. And Larry Bird was second in 81, 82, 83, won 84, 85, 86. Bloody hell. Kareem 71 through 74, and Timmy Duncan were the only other two with 4 straight, so not bloody bad. MJ and LeBron did it 3 straight on different occasions, so pretty funny. And the Shane Hill shoot your shot, line 'em up award, and a bit of excellence. Tyrese Haliburton is 5 of 6 when taking a shot to either tie or take a lead in the final 90 seconds of the 4th or overtime this playoffs. These playoffs, he's 5 of 6, all-time heater. And Aaron Nesmith, he is the first Indiana Pacer with 8 made threes in a playoff game. This is a team that employed Reggie Miller for a long time. That's pretty fucking good. Right. Great moment in NBA Australia stat history. Once he figures out where the button is. Come on, Jim. Get your shit together. Never.
Great moments in NBA Straya stat history.
All right, let's do it. Great moment in NBA Australia stat history. I mentioned this one yesterday. Take yourself back to 2016. Eastern Conference Finals Game 1. The Cleveland Cavaliers take on the Toronto Raptors in 2016. And our man, Matty Dellavedova, gets out there and causes all sorts of havoc as the Cavs, once again, just give the old Toronto Raptors the 1-2 Costa Zoo. Win it 115-84, an all-time shit-pumping Game 1. And Daly only played 14 minutes because this year Kyrie was healthy, remember? He went 3 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 1 from downtown. Finishes with 9 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound, 3 turnovers, we'll ignore that, and 2 anti-Strayan fouls. Crushed it. And it was actually his best game for the, basically through the conference finals, his highest scoring game for the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals. And our man, King Deli of Maryborough, first of his name, Smasher of Tins, would go on to win the title, of course, that year. So not bloody bad. Good on you, Deli. That's a great moment in NBA Australia's stat history. Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1, 2016. I remember watching that game in the bar around the corner from my apartment in New York. Bar called Blondies. Watching this one, just going, fucking give him hell, Deli. Give him hell. Right. Good stuff. How about a Patty Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in before we do the game preview for tomorrow? All right. What do we got? Got a bit of Patty. I think there's some Patty stuff. I thought I just saw Patty pop up. Where'd you go, Patty? Yeah, so the Squid the Squid's waking up every day at like 6:35. Wanders into the room, and old mate's already off to work at this point. And so fucking Dadski's over here. He's just like, fucking g'day, buddy. And he's like, Mom! Mom! And I'm like, fucking, hey, jump into the bed. And here's Paw Patrol on Dad's phone. Not Paw Patrol. It's just literally just little clips on Instagram. So my Instagram algo is now fucked. But either way, he does love his... Basically, just use it for like 2 minutes to calm him the fuck down, and then we go get him brekkie. Patty Mills. That's the new post. That's a really fucking 2 8s for year 16. That's that slow-mo reel. Bloody nice. Righto. That's some good game day, Patty. Game day baller. Time for some game previews. Game preview. Game preview. Thanks to Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad. As I mentioned yesterday, my Achilles blew up Tuesday. Had my treatment on it again this morning. Wasn't too bad, so it's feeling a bit better now. Otherwise, not bad. Not bad, good size. Remember, all of our picks and all of our vibes, completely awesome vibes. Came very close. We smashed one today anyway. We're all over at Dabble. So if you want to sign up, use the link in our show description or the link in our bio. Go to Dabble. They have awesome stuff all the way through there, but you can follow and copy all the shit that we do, which is awesome. So go check that out. Just bang in the code NBA Australia. Just sign up using the link in our description, show description, each show that we have. There's that big fucking thing. Or the link in our bio, which is very easy. You can also shout us a beer if you want. Either way, game 2 of Minnesota OKC tomorrow. So, as I said yesterday, my biggest fear for Minnesota during this series was realized brutally in yesterday's game. So, game 1, you saw Minnesota turn the ball over a fucking million times and the offense completely fall apart. Like, artificially propped up by Julius Randle. Shooting the piss out of the ball in the first half and then just falling off the fucking face of the earth later on, right? And... like it felt like that's worst case scenario. And it was, because they ended up fucking losing by 1 million, despite leading at halftime. And you're kind of like, all right, so it's been artificially propped up by Randall. They kept turning the ball over, and they should have been up by a shit ton, but they couldn't hit a fucking shot. The bench was absolutely horrible. And if their role players aren't going to hit threes, as I said yesterday, OKC are in this incredible position where it's just like they just spin the fucking wheel of fortune of death wheel, and it lands on like 2 fucking role players who are going to come out with chainsaws and just carve up your team. And yesterday it was like, what, Caruso, Kenrick Williams, and away you go. Minnesota, Adonde DiVincenzo, Naz Reid was absolutely abysmal. Nick Alexander-Walker couldn't buy a bucket. I don't think Minnesota is going to be that shit again in game 2. They might be again later in the series, but this is sort of, I mentioned this on yesterday's show as well, right? It's almost kind of what they do. They laid an egg, I think, in game 1 of their series against the Lakers. It was a game 2 against, I think, the Lakers. Laid an egg in game 1 against the Warriors. And you're like, what the fuck is this? Hopefully, they can respond in kind. I think they smashed the Lakers in game 1, smashed them again in game 3. They fucking killed the Warriors in game 2. And like the way that they did that was sort of just going, hey, remember how we've got 2 good offensive players? But also we've got like Nicky Alexander-Walker. They limited the turnovers. Everybody hit shots. They hit 16 threes in that game 2 against the Warriors. And they fucking killed them. And they got off to a fast start as well. I think they can do that again tomorrow. And I think OKC's defense is really fucking good at weathering that and making Minnesota work. I wanted to sort of go, oh, OKC are just incredible. There's no way they can't win the title. And it feels like that's just a real fucking instant overreaction to what we saw yesterday, where in the second half, they just fucking steamrolled them, right? Minnesota are good. They are. They beat the Lakers, maybe a compromised Lakers team, a very compromised Warriors team. But by the same token, OKC, same sorts of vibes. That Memphis team they beat, fucking woof. And then Denver with like 2.5 players. Like, what are we doing? And went to 7. I think Minnesota can keep game 2 close, if not win it outright. So we're going to go back to the well again. We're fucking loving the well today, aren't we? Minnesota plus 7.5. As long as Ant-Man's ankle is okay. So tomorrow morning we'll do the video before the game, which is a 10:30 start, which I fucking love. And I'll do the video. We'll check on Ant-Man's ankle. But for the minute, I think we're going back for Minnesota plus 7.5. As long as Ant-Man's ankle is okay, I reckon they can put up a fight. But that's probably my only big concern. Like if he's even remotely kind of just like a little bit passive Ant, they could get fucking smoked again by OKC. Because they are just like the whirring machine of death. And that's what they might do. They might kill him again. So provisionally plus 7.5 for Minnesota. Tomorrow morning, check it. We'll have the actual final call. We'll just basically be making sure how Ant-Man's ankle is. And if he's 100%, we're laughing. So there you go. All right. And you remember, you can find all those vibes and picks over at Double. Banging the code NBA Australia, follow and copy. Appreciate it. But that's it for today. What a day it was. A classic Eastern Conference Finals game 1. Incredible gear. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is your 2025 MVP. What more do you want? It's bloody good. Either way, that's it. We'll be back on deck tomorrow to wrap up what will be presumably a very, very fun Western Conference Finals game 2. Set you up for the weekend's games as well. So in the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. The videos go up all over there as well. Get around NFL Australia with myself and Gaz. Chuck us a rating and review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you're using the Android phone. It really does help. That's all I ask. Rate, review, star, subscribe, comment. Jump in the comments. Really appreciate that too. And of course, if you want to support us, jump on the Dabble. Use the link in the show description or the link in our bio. Bang in that code NBA Australia. Or shout us a beer. Appreciate you. Shout us a coffee. Go link in the bio for that as well. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, as well as to House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated, Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Section O, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. So smash them all on Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Facey, Apple Music, Spotify. However you listen to your bands, support Australian bands. That's what NBA Australia does. But that's it. We will catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And play Johnny Furphy. Get jingles out there. Come on. Later, Hosen. G'day, legends. Your mate Jim from NBA Australia here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business, we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Australia. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in yeah, nahs. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Australia, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Australia, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?